Hello and welcome to Freshly Grounded, episode 132. 132. We're here with Big Man Sam. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
How are you? How's things?
Alhamdulillah, good. And yourself?
I'm very well.
Well,
yeah, I'm doing very great. Jazakallah khair. Alhamdulillah. It's a nice little timepiece you got on your wrist there.
Time is it though?
No, I'm just thinking of the timepiece on your wrist. Welcome to Freshly Grounded. We are here today to discuss. Today's episode, we discussed fatherhood, basically.
We did.
Yeah.
Becoming a father.
Yes.
Parenthood.
Yes.
Babies.
Yeah.
Brand new babies.
Yeah. That's basically the essence of today's discussion.
That was, yeah. And social media.
We had
That was a massive part of it.
massive part of it.
Yeah, massive part of it.
I'd say a third of the episode was based on social media.
Prominently social media.
Yeah.
Because you spoke about that with a whole lot more passion. And then when it came to talking about your kids, you're like, okay, yeah, I had a child. But yeah, then we spoke about my social media for a long time.
Energy and passion.
I saw.
I'm sorry,
you
Sam.
went in, I saw.
Yeah. I should have discussed the parenthood thing first, so I had the most...
And then we could have gone on to, yeah.
Right.
You
Social media we can discuss on any episode.
Yeah. You know best.
Sleep's going well, by the way.
Sorry?
Sleep is going a bit better now.
You're sleeping?
A bit better than I was on the first
Good,
couple of days.
most of it.
Yeah. 'Cause I was sleeping in the hospital for like the first 4 or 5 nights.
But you're really grateful for your bed.
Yeah, because you know what it is? On the initial ward, the chair that I had was just like one of those big plastic armchairs that if you put your legs up, like let's say I put my legs up on like the bed to at least like try and get some sleep, you slip.
Right, you slip. Okay.
It was an awful chair. But then in the next ward, it was an armchair that actually turns into a bed.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, man.
Oh, perfect.
Oh, the funniest thing happened as well. So the first time I was trying to burp Zachariah, I was panicking. I was in the hospital trying to burp him. But my fear was that I don't want to choke him with my left hand, because you have to hold the chin. So I was burping, trying to figure out how to burp him because I felt like his back was too bent and all this kind of stuff. And so I didn't have this feature before, so I went on my phone on YouTube, and like a typical first-time dad, I went on YouTube and typed in how to burp a baby, and then there was an NHS video on how to burp a baby. And so I'm in the hospital, it's like 1 o'clock in the morning, and I'm trying to burp my baby, and so I'm on that armchair, and there's a radiator next to me, so I lean it on the radiator like that.
Yeah.
I've leaned this on the radiator, and then I'm watching it as I'm burping him, and I didn't realise the radiator had like really big like lines between it, and my phone fell through the radiator. And by the way, these days it's freezing cold, so the radiator's on like full blast. Radiator's on, phone is falling between the radiator, and you could still hear the NHS video teaching you how to do a baby. I was like, no. So I called the nurse, and she came over, and I said, look, I know you're busy saving babies right now, but drop my phone down the radiator. Don't know what to do. And I said, do you even have a department in hospitals that deal with phones falling through radiators? And to my surprise, she said yes. There's a department called Estates, and they deal with this kind of exact thing. And she said, I don't know if they're open at this time because it's 2 o'clock in the morning on like a Sunday or something. Lo and behold, what does lo and behold mean? Anyway, lo and behold, they were still open. And so you're in this ward, right? It's baby ward, where it's for like children who I think they're like unwell after their birth or something like that, right? It's called transitional care. So I think the transitional from being born to being released, they're like being looked after with like medication and stuff. And so you can imagine that the ward is full of babies and their parents, both of who are not well. And 2 o'clock in the morning on Sunday, and this butch, about 10 minutes later, this butch, like Cockney geezer walks in, like a builder, and he goes, "Why? I'm looking to make a phone call in a radiator." He calls to the whole room, bro. What wakes up? So funny, bro. He comes in, he goes, "How did you get your phone in the radiator?" I was like, "I'm so sorry, man. Right? Don't worry about it. It's not the worst we've seen." And he just managed to like lift the radiator off and like give me my phone. And then like
was
the
it
case
still playing? Was the burping the baby thing still playing?
I think it had stopped by then. But it was a short video. But then the radiator had melted my case a bit because my case was rubber. So he's like, "Be careful with that. It'd be really hot."
Careful with that.
But that happened.
Good.
Yeah.
It's good.
You ever experienced anything like that?
Never experienced that. Don't really want to.
No. How is your iPhone 5?
It's fine. iPhone 5.
Oh, have you upgraded yet?
Sorry that I can't afford to keep up with technology like you can, mate. I'm quite happy with my whatever I've got.
You just don't care for it. You're just too busy in Marks and Spencer's. Right, so that's the episode. Episode 132. Anything last words you want to say, Sam? About Patreon, maybe? No? Okay. Guys, as you know, we have a Patreon page, and that's basically a feature or a website that you go to. It's called patreon.com, patreon.com/freshly grounded. What it is it's like a premium subscription service to Freshly Grounded. You get every episode early, and you get a bunch of other perks that we are working on, adding more perks to it. But the main one is that you get the episodes early, and kind of the secondary main one is that you're able to support the podcast. It costs around £5 a month. Which, to be honest, nowadays is around the price of a coffee, with Brexit and inflation going at the speed of lightning. And but what it does for us is it helps support the podcast. It helps allow the podcast to stand on its own 2 feet. It helps us with regards to guest expenses, with regards to equipment, with regards to studio. So we never want it to be. We don't want Freshly Grounded to be a situation where we constantly just bombarding it with private sponsorships, although we are having to do that more and more to maintain the cost of Freshly Grounded, but we don't want it to be like that. And we also don't necessarily never wanted to kind of we don't want to ask for donations, right? And so we decided to create Patreon, which is this premium subscription service that actually offers a benefit to those who wish to subscribe to it. There's also no obligation to do so, but it does go a long way, so don't belittle if you were to become Patreon. So if you want to sign up, it's very, very easy. It's a couple steps. You don't have to have used Patreon before. You go to patreon.com/freshly grounded and you can sign up there. Without any further ado, this is episode 132.
This is episode 132. Enjoy it.
Enjoy it.
And welcome to Freshly Grounded, the brand new podcast by best friends Faisu and Sam.
Huh?
I said welcome to Freshly Grounded,
After that bit.
the brand new podcast
And after that bit?
by best friends Faisu and Sam.
Really?
Right, we are on. Look how many mugs we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Some Instagram notifs. Just Ashley Bilal Chin, who responded to our snap about his book.
Fantastic. Beautiful
Faith.
book.
By Ashley Bilal Chin.
Have you had a chance to look through it?
Yeah, flick through it
Really
quickly.
beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wish I could do something like that. Really nice.
You can write a book, Sam.
Can't.
Well, you can write a book about how you created the S Empire. Way, put it there, brotherin.
How you, mate? All right?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm a dad now. What? Sorry?
Congratulations.
Jazakallah khair.
Cheers to fatherhood.
To fatherhood.
So how long have you been a father
Get
for?
refuted for that.
Well, cheersing.
It's your culture, though, isn't it? Your British culture.
What,
Your culture, man. I don't know. Maybe not. It's just water and a coffee.
Yeah.
And your British culture. Lads.
How would you have done it?
Lads.
How would you have done it?
Lads. How would I have done it?
Yeah,
I
what
would
would
have
be-
probably done the same. I'm British and lads as well, aren't I? Used to go down to Paul's Fish Bar and when I was young, get myself some
Go where?
haddock and chips. Paul's Fish Bar.
Paul's Fish Bar.
Yeah.
Whereabouts?
Up the Manor.
Manor Park.
Manor Park, what's that?
It's a area of London.
Oh, okay, no. Nah, just up the Manor, up the road with my old man.
Yeah?
Nah, I never used to go with my old man up there, Paul's Fish Bar. Maybe go to Southall for a curry. with my
For a
old man,
curry, yeah. It's more like it.
But yeah, Paul's Fish Bar was with my
So
with my
congratulations, alhamdulillah.
Yeah.
You've become a father
mum. Alhamdulillah.
of a little boy.
Yes, Zakaria.
MashaAllah. Beautiful name.
Jazakallah khair.
Barakallah feekum. So congratulations. How's it been?
Yeah,
How are you
well.
feeling?
Amazing, yeah.
Yeah?
Alhamdulillah.
That's good.
I haven't discussed it yet, the journey of fatherhood,
Yeah.
on anywhere,
No.
actually, other than that one Instagram post that I did.
Because I'm right in thinking you actually detached yourself from Instagram for a period of time.
Yes.
I had people worried. I had people asking me, is Faisal okay?
Really? Because
Yeah.
nobody asked on Freshly Grounded. Yeah, because I obviously still have
Really?
access to Freshly Grounded account.
No one asked that.
No.
I was a little bit worried. You were so there in everyone's face and suddenly just disappeared.
I was so there because of the event, innit? I was like,
Yeah, you were there and then nothing. So you took some time out.
Oh man, and I loved the time out.
Really?
So much. I'd like to even just talk about the time out of social media for so long.
Well, am I right in thinking you were still running the Freshly Grounded account, or were you not? Were you actually off social media?
No, so the Freshly Grounded account, it's.
I know how
also,
the photos. I know how the videos work. But did you find?
I did have
on
access to that.
Yeah, no, I'm not trying to rain on your parade. I know that you got rid of your personal account, which is your main account. That's
Correct.
probably going to take the most of your time, and it's personal. So I get that.
And Freshly Grounded very much so feels like not a work account but a communal account. And many people have access to it as well.
Yeah.
So at any one time, I think the most people that have had access to it is I think maybe 4 or 5 different places.
Yeah.
So it's not just me who runs that account, although I am constantly on it.
But my point was by you going onto that account, do you still feel like you were kind of off your social media?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, definitely.
Cool. Okay, that was nice then, was it?
Bro, amazing. So I obviously took time off social media about in like the final month of pregnancy. So
and when did you plan to do that? Or did it just happen?
It kind of just happened, but I had been weaning. It just kind of happened.
Yeah.
So obviously the entire time that my wife was expecting a child, nobody knew on a public realm, and so we knew obviously, and we would do episodes, and it was something that was kept on the D-Lo.
Yeah.
And we kept it quite a good secret, didn't we?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I didn't tell anyone.
And considering, because Freshly Grounded is not a professional platform, it's us two having a chat.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes people, I don't know if you get this, but sometimes people who watch Freshly Grounded, they say to me, I feel like I know you.
Yeah.
And it's because they do.
Yeah.
Know us.
Yeah.
Because we do chat like how we chat off camera, on camera. I mean,
certainly.
There might be 1 or 2 things that, with our real private life that we don't mention on camera. But generally, bro, we talk
quite openly.
Yeah, we talk quite openly. So when people say that, they do. So it was difficult to keep that from Freshly Grounded, and there was numerous reasons why we did that, which again we can go into.
Why didn't you make it public?
Yeah,
that you were gonna have a. I'm asking you. Why didn't you choose to make it public?
So loads of people don't know this. Even people in our families don't know this. But we before we had this child, we had a miscarriage.
Yeah.
So when we experienced that was quite like a life-changing thing for us. Which was probably like the toughest thing that we went through in life.
Wow.
Or one of the toughest. But alhamdulillah, we told ourselves that Allah, it was written by Allah, and it was qadr, and we have to accept it, and that there will be better things that will come. And alhamdulillah, now we reflect on it, we see the beauty of that timing and stuff.
Yeah.
But people, that would be a bit of a bombshell to people because they didn't know. So that was like when was that now? So that was about a year and a bit ago now. And we obviously really wanted a child, and then we were expecting a child, and then the child's heartbeat stopped basically, I think around like quite early on, like in the first trimester. So we realized that is so normal. Only once we had gone through it, we realized that so many other people go through it, but people don't talk about it, because why would you want to talk about it?
Yeah.
Right. So, but then when you go through it, you hear, oh, I went through that.
Yeah.
And so I remember when I even told you about it, we were in Pizza Express, weren't we? We went for, so this was around the time that you had just had Solomon.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
And so you were taking some time off Freshly Grounded and work in general. And so me and you hadn't had a catch up in a few months.
Yeah, I remember.
And so we decided to have a catch up, and that was the day that I also told you, and it was very fresh then. It was a matter of maybe days at that point. And I mean, long story short, bro, we went through that. Nobody to this day knows about it really, other than our like brothers and sisters. So anyone there will be a lot of people who perhaps are listening to this now that actually know our family and stuff, and they'll be shocked. But I have discussed with my missus that she's happy for us to talk about it now.
Are you choosing to say this because about how many other people have gone through it, and it might be something more comforting for people that do experience it, or is that why you're choosing to? Definitely.
Yeah. So what happened is we went through it, and then we told ourselves that we have to have patience in Allah's qadr and understand that everything's written for us, and that there will be beauty in the timing, and there'll be beauty in it, and better things will be to come. And alhamdulillah, like I said, we did realize so many benefits. I could list off so many benefits as to what happened, why it happened, and so I'm so thankful that we put our trust in Allah.
Yep.
And I'm not normally one to say, oh, we did this, we handled this great, we handled that great. Anyone who listens to our podcast regularly knows how much me and you beat ourselves up about having a lack of patience. Both of us, I think, struggle with that.
Certainly.
And so I wouldn't be saying it if I didn't feel like perhaps Allah made that easy for me. I think Allah made it a bit like easy for us to trust in His plan. I feel like in life, and I think you might have the same thing. I feel like in life, I find it hard to deal with the small things, but I find it easier to deal with the bigger things.
Yeah, perhaps, yeah.
Like small things I struggle with regards to patience is like, why is the SD card not working? Like, or why can't we get the episode started? And that's such a small thing in life.
Yeah.
But then something like that, because it's such a massive catastrophe, you have to almost be like, okay, I have to deal with this now.
Yeah.
And so you become serious. So
yeah.
So anyone who is going through that or has gone through that, I would say definitely trust in Allah's plan, and you have to believe that Allah loves you and that He is Ar-Rahman, and it's through His mercy that this has happened. The other thing I want to say is that, and this is kind of what I want to say quite a bit more, is that around the time that we had the miscarriage, we got a comment on our Freshly Grounded YouTube channel, and it said, why has Faisal not got kids yet? Like, what are they waiting for? Like, he's been married this long, stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah.
On the Freshly Grounded?
Yeah, on Freshly Grounded. I believe it was on Freshly Grounded.
Okay.
And I didn't have to respond to it because, alhamdulillah, our listeners, the FG tribe, responded, and they were like, leave them alone. Like, what is it to do with you?
Right.
However, and alhamdulillah, it didn't really affect me.
Okay.
However, how it did affect me is I thought to myself, imagine if that person doesn't know what we just went through. Imagine someone who is sensitive to that situation or who hasn't been able to handle it in a great way. Imagine them seeing it, and that could push them over the edge.
Wow.
So I would say really consider what you type before you type it. So we went through that about and like I said, even though that was difficult not to discuss on Freshly Grounded, because we discussed pretty much everything on Freshly Grounded, and we were still at that point doing weekly podcast episodes. But alhamdulillah, we chose not to discuss it because it was a difficult thing to go through, and because it's been private as well. And even me explaining this now, like, I haven't really mentioned any of the details. Yeah,
of course.
And so then what had happened is we then started. We were a few months later. Alhamdulillah, we found out we were expecting a child again, and we decided to just. What we did is, it was in my hands in the sense that I didn't have restrictions to announce it or not to announce it. We didn't decide together that we're just never going to tell anyone. It was more of a decision that I made that I wanted to keep it private. In regards to, like, on a public level, part of it because of the miscarriage, and then part of it because it was quite nice enjoying something that people didn't really know about.
Obviously, all your friends and family knew. Yeah, just on your we're talking about a public level, a public platform.
Exactly, and sometimes we'd be out like Westfield and this, that, the other, and people would find out. I wasn't scared to tell people, even I wasn't scared to tell Freshly Grounded listeners when I saw them in person, because sometimes we had Freshly Grounded, I bumped a Freshly Grounded listener, like I said, in Westfield or something, and they would say, oh, like, I'm like, oh, I'm just like popping to here because I'm just we're expecting a baby, so I would always tell people in person, but I didn't announce it on
of course.
Then what happened is so a lot of things went wrong around the time of the event, not in terms of pregnancy, but in terms of Freshly Grounded. Like, we ideally needed to do the event in October time because there were some things that, like, logistical things that started going wrong a bit, and so so by the time we secured everything, there was only 6 weeks to sell the most amount of tickets we've ever sold in our life. And whereas I planned it so that we would have had 3 months. So we actually we needed to do that show towards the end of October. But I remember telling everyone, look, I can't budge. I have to do it at the end of September because the baby could come any time in October. And so that has to be the very last thing I do. And then I'm taking time off. I'm going to disappear after the event. And that's what I did.
You did, yeah.
And also that brought me time. Yeah.
It looked good.
I done the event, and then that brought me time to, like, deal with the collateral of the event, because you have to also deal with a lot of stuff after the event. So I had a few weeks to do with the collateral of the event and just kind of relax, and then I just kind of zoned.
Collateral as in Not damage.
No, not damage. Collateral as in just like the after effects of the event. So things like you have to. There's a lot of paperwork that have to be done. You have to deal with like a lot of red tape with, like, for example, the venue. The venue require payments and stuff, like some before, some after, some during. So, and then the media and editing the footage and cutting up the clips. All these different things that have to be done after a big show. Sorting out like any kind of invoices and all that kind of stuff. I knew I'd need a few weeks of like 9 to 5 work for that. So I was able to do that, and then all whilst kind of maintaining the weekly episodes. And then I kind of 2 weeks before the due date, I stopped even coming to work pretty much.
Why?
Well, because I wanted to give myself, I wanted to give my family that time to be there. Yeah, to be there. Because you know as well, having 2 children yourself, how difficult it is right towards the end. Like, we're talking like it could be any day.
Yeah.
How difficult that period is. And also you needing to be available at all times. So I decided to be able to do that, and I'm technically even right now on paternity leave.
Yeah.
And so I'm not doing anything other than these weekly episodes right now, which is nice. I need to start. I'm slowly actually getting back to work. So like I was in the office today. I'm in the office now today for a bit.
After this?
No, like this for this.
Sorry, yeah.
And I'm probably going to be. I've got a meeting tomorrow, for example. So I'm slowly doing 1 or 2 bits now.
Will there be a date when you go back normally?
So like 9 to 5.
Yeah, as of that Monday, I've just got to go back to normal.
I've given myself so I put like as this month approaches to an end, basically.
Okay. Which was the plan anyway, yeah?
Yeah. So
has it been a nice period of time? Obviously you took 2 weeks off before having your little boy. Now 3 weeks later.
Yeah.
So how's that 5 weeks been?
It's been amazing. It's a ni'mah from Allah, man.
Yeah, no doubt.
I don't want to take it for granted. I'm very, very grateful. I think paternity leave in general, for the government standard paternity leave, is way too short for people who are employed, which is like the majority of people. And I'm employed as well, but it's alhamdulillah, Allah's put me in a position where I can be a bit more flexible. And I can work a lot from home and maintain things. I think that paternity leave, I think the government give 2 weeks, and 2 weeks is not enough, because if like in my case, it was a difficult process.
Yeah, of course.
Because Zakaria and his mum were in the hospital for about a week after, or just under. So then it's only really 1 week paternity leave that they can settle in at home, and that's not enough time. But even now, we're still kind of settling in.
Yeah.
So I think now we're starting to get more settled, where I can imagine that like by. If a person was given paternity leave, that like by like this upcoming Monday, I would be able to go back to work technically. And so that means I'd say like a 1 month paternity leave would be generous and nice. But obviously that's an ideal world.
An ideal world.
And also some private companies obviously do give extended leave. It's just up to, but the government standard is 2 weeks, right? I believe. So anyway, the social media thing. What happened with that is I decided to log off my social media so I can just be more present, right? Because there comes a time, bro, where you realize that I'm just scrolling. I've been scrolling for 15 minutes, and what am I doing? And I wanted to be very present, very like there, and very helpful to my family at that time, at that period. So I decided to lock off my social media. However, I am also falling out of love with social media as the days go by, and I have been for a very long time now. And that's not been a secret.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a difficult decision for me.
Especially coming from someone who was so...
Right.
Everything was social media for quite a long period of time.
Yeah, for a very long time.
Yeah. So do you think you not overdid it, but do you think you just immersed yourself in it so much now you just feel like, do you know what? Actually, I'm done with it. Or do you think things have changed now?
No, do you know what, bro?
You've changed. You want other things out of it, because obviously you still respect social media. You still love it, but you're maybe not so much Faisal Chowdhury on social media, but just Freshly Grounded on social media.
Yeah, I see a lot of benefit of Freshly Grounded being on social media. I mean, so first of all, with regards to me actually being off social media, I went off social media, and then the plan was, I don't know when I'm going to reactivate my Instagram account after Zachary is born. And I said to myself, I'll take however long I need. When I feel like I want to activate it, I'll activate it. If I don't feel like I don't want to activate it, I won't. And so I never had a time limit. I wasn't like, it wasn't like a marketing ploy, like I'm going to deactivate it. So everyone's like, where's Faisal? And then I'm going to reactivate and be like, here's a baby. It was like, I'm just going to deactivate it. And whenever I'm ready, I always knew I was going to announce that I had a baby.
Yeah.
And the reason for that is not so people can be interested in my personal life, but because of Freshly Grounded. I knew that I always want Freshly Grounded to be a transparent thing, and I want Freshly Grounded to be a thing where we can share our journeys together. Just like you shared the journey of when Freshly Grounded started, you had just had Zayden, and you had just created 59.
Yeah.
And then throughout the journey of Freshly Grounded, you've had another child, alhamdulillah.
True, yeah.
And sold 59.
Lots of things have changed.
Yeah, and every time you start a new store, bro, like it's so fun because you come on, you're like, I think we're about to open up in Jordan or King's Cross, and then you do it, and then like we did launch.
Yeah, it's true.
So,
it's true.
to keep transparent on Freshly Grounded and stuff like that, and I love Freshly Grounded so much. I knew I was going to announce it.
I don't think you owe anyone anything. I'm not saying that, but I think the fact that you've put yourself out there so much to the point of daily vlogs and people know videos about your marriage and everything else. I think if you had a baby and didn't let people know, I think it would be
weird.
Yeah, it would be weird because it's someone that's coming from someone who's been so open, who's known to be so open, talk about their feelings. You know what I mean? Just hold a camera and be honest to the camera and really expose yourself and even your family, your nan, your brother, and then you to have a child and not kind of just tell the people that have been following you that you've had a child. I think it would have been a bit strange. Yeah. Not that you owe them, that I don't have to explain myself to you, because obviously things have changed now. You're not doing vlogs and things like that, but there's been a lot of eyes on you and people have seen you get married and stuff, but a lot of people would probably just be very, very happy. And
yeah, of course, bro, of course. And I don't want to paint social media like everyone is a villain that watches you, but I fell out of love with social media because I saw that I don't need it to make me happy, right? And
so was it the source of your happiness for a time?
No, it wasn't a source.
You were building, like, what you were doing then was relevant to what you were doing. You're building like a YouTube channel. Your Instagram supported that.
Yeah, but
and then obviously that it wasn't just out of vanity, just having those pictures of yourself. It was surely you were building your YouTube channel, which was, I don't know, am I speaking for you?
No, what happened is I think that when we started Freshly Grounded, I think I saw it as Allah giving me a way of
a new avenue.
Yeah. And where it's less self-indulgent and it's more like, here's a brand that we have created that we think can benefit people. And it's not always going to be... And bro, even if you look at Freshly on Instagram, we discussed this ourselves. How many of the videos are of me or you? Hardly any. They're always of our guests because we feel like our guests can bring benefit. Yeah. And we are kind of the source of putting those guests on, right? Yeah. And I like that. I feel comfortable with that. And I feel comfortable with like...
In fact, you never put any videos up of you on Freshly Grounded anymore, do you? No, I've not seen you talking on any videos for a long time. Intentionally?
Really? I don't think that I have... I don't think there's like 1 minute bursts out of inspiration. I don't think I deliver those. You know what I mean?
I think I don't know.
So look, I don't... I feel like social media is very dangerous. I'm talking about Instagram specifically. I think Instagram is very dangerous in... You get that dopamine hit when you get likes and... I know Instagram are doing things to remove that now. Like they've removed the liking system in loads of countries, and it's coming here very soon as well. I just have that love-hate relationship with it, bro, and mainly because
it looks like you've kind of fallen out of it a little bit. Though.
I have because I find so much happiness in everything off social media.
Okay, fine.
Like I'm spending time with my family, alhamdulillah, and I'm thinking this. Why would I want to take away from this? I would want to maximize this time, right? Yeah. And when I realized that, I felt like it set me free to be on it less. And I wasn't on it as an addict, but I think I was on it as the same amount as most people are on it. So what I did is I took it off. I'm not going to say I didn't miss it at all. I did kind of miss it a bit. And so then I decided. I remember I said one time. I think it was like day 3 or 4 we were in the hospital still, and I said to my miss, I said, I think I'm going to reactivate my Instagram. She was like, cool. Reactivated it, put out that post, and alhamdulillah, so many people showed so much love, and that felt really nice. And
there's a lot of love on that post.
There was a lot of love. Yeah, it was really nice to people. I think it had hundreds of comments.
10,000 likes or something.
Yeah, like a good amount of
Amazing,
likes.
mashallah,
Yeah. And then what happened, bro, is I realised that I didn't miss it.
Did you enjoy getting all those likes and comments? Because that was a big meaty. That was
Post.
in the sense that there was a lot of comeback. So did you enjoy it? Wow, this is nice. Like,
No, I thought it was nice.
You came back with a bang in the sense that you've come back with an amazing picture, and you've had so many people like obviously jump at the picture. Was it nice?
It was nice that people showing love and giving their eyes, but it wasn't like the kind of thing where it was like, oh yeah, look how many likes we've got now. You know what I mean?
So you saying it felt different? The attention and likes and comments you got from that, it felt different.
But it was hard
to normal.
It was hard. Yeah, it was hard to judge from that post because that was such a genuine post that I put out.
Yeah.
So I wasn't questioning my own intentions with that post.
No, of course.
You know what I mean? Whereas if you question your own intentions and then you start getting gassed off the likes, that's when it gets a bit sticky, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, I realised that I didn't miss it that much.
Yeah.
So I thought to myself, well, if I don't miss it that much, then maybe I don't need social media, because what benefits can I get out of social media? What are the benefits of social media? They can be happiness, like mental health, like positivity and happiness. Not social media, anything, right? Like let's say, for example, I choose to do something in my life, whether it's freshly grounded or drink a cup of coffee or whatever. Yeah. There's only certain categories that it can do. Give me happiness, maybe productivity can be another one, spiritual growth, financial growth. What else? Well, why else would you do something? They're the ones that come to mind, right? Like even getting married. Why would you do it? You do it for happiness, for...
Yeah, I get it.
Right. I didn't feel like I was getting any of those categories from social media, right? Whereas before I was... So because I didn't feel like I was getting them, what is the need for it, bro? It's not like I'm... Do you get what I'm saying? But with Freshly Grounded, I do. With Freshly Grounded, I love people connecting with the Freshly Grounded posts. I love growing the Freshly Grounded brand. I love that Freshly Grounded has surpassed me and you on Instagram in terms of followers. Because it's something that we've really taken pride in building, bro. And we both love it so much. And I'd really struggle to let go of the Freshly Grounded brand. So when I realised that I didn't necessarily feel like I needed my Instagram, I thought, all right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to private my page and just have it for like people who...
Is that what you've got now?
So I had done that, and I unprivated it. So now what it is I'm hardly using it, but I have it activated.
Would you ever consider deleting it?
Yeah.
As in deleting it?
Maybe.
Losing it all?
Maybe. But I haven't right now. I'm lying if I say... I did a post yesterday.
Yeah, you did.
So my point is I'm not posting or anything, but I'm just posting when... if I can master just doing what I want to do when I want to do it and not based off if it's going to get likes or if it's the right time or if it's going to... Do you know what I mean?
So you don't feel like you're addicted to it?
Now I don't feel addicted to it. I feel more free.
Yeah, but did you think that you almost had some... Yeah.
Perhaps. Yeah. But I think everybody is a bit.
Yeah.
So, like for example, yesterday I came into the office and I just wanted a break, man, because I felt like... it sounds very like silly of me to say that I wanted a break when, you know, my family deserve more break than me. But I'm saying that I just fancied a break, so I was like, I'm just going to go to the office, just hide out for a bit. It's a nice little cave and just do some bits and be a bit productive and like do some skipping and fitness stuff like that. And because I had a nice little time, I was like, oh, I'm going to take a picture and I'm going to post it. And I did that because I didn't feel like my intentions were... Do you feel
like you needed to post a picture?
No, I did it more like a diary post.
How do you mean like a diary post?
Like, you know when you're doing a diary entry, you're like, oh, like today I did this and that felt good.
Okay.
Rather than...
Fine, so you did a little thing.
Check out my...
Yeah, cool.
I think that's how I would like to use Instagram. I would like to use it when I feel like I have something to note down, something to say, or something I just feel like saying, but not necessarily when every time I feel like...
Are you thinking already what your next picture is going to be?
Nah, not at all. I don't know when. I might not post. I might post today. I might not post for 2 months. And I think that's okay.
Yeah. I think that's okay as well.
Yeah. But the Freshly Grounded...
What are you doing now on your phone?
I was just looking at my Instagram as we were talking about it.
Because you're addicted to it and we're just trying to do a podcast.
Oh yeah, this is what I was going to say about it, by the way. Do you remember about a year ago I said something that's really helped me with not looking at my phone as much, and that was
notifications.
Right,
I remember you saying that. Yeah,
I turned Instagram notifications off, so I only, because then what happens is you get a notification, then you end up opening it, and then you're on Instagram for 15 minutes. I've just done something else over the past few weeks that's that has maximised my productivity even more.
What's that?
That is...
Pops up when you've been on it for some amount of time.
No, I don't like that. I don't like that. I hate that feature.
I had that for a bit.
Yeah, I tried that. It's horrible.
I turned it off. It is annoying.
It's like, I'd like to control myself, but that's a bit too far. You know the Instagram icon, the actual app?
Yeah.
I moved it to like the third page.
Cool. Yeah, cool.
So when I open my phone, I don't see the icon.
Yeah.
So, because what happens when you see it, you click on it. And now I have to work. I have to move my thumb, and then I see it on a page where it's by itself.
Yeah.
And that's changed a lot.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So hid the app.
I hid the app.
Yeah, hid the app.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Might try that.
Feels good, man.
I think it's just there rather than it me seeing it. I think mentally you just kind of want to...
Look, I don't think that people struggle with social media as much as I have portrayed that I have. But I
think
just
people
know...
do. I think
maybe.
people do. I think people do.
I think you have to realise that you do as well.
I think you have to realise, and you have to be honest. And you can always have an excuse and a reason. But if you actually really sum it up, and I'm speaking for myself, like I'm definitely on my social media too much, not even being productive, because it's just easy to be on it, and it's entertaining to be on it.
It's like that video that you sent me this morning where Denzel Washington is saying social media has become this thing where something doesn't even have to be true. You just have to be the first to say it.
Yeah,
and that's a horrible thing.
Yeah, it's true. Interesting video, man. Interesting video. Just it just highlights that how much you do depend on social media and your phone in general, and you kind of forget that the life outside, the life before the smartphone, the real life, like the real like proper relationships and the proper the social gatherings that you have when there's no phones involved, and just genuine conversation and exchanging energy and all that kind of stuff that does get lost. Because then that video also mentions that somewhere out there now, and I'll say the same thing, somewhere out there now there's a family eating somewhere and they've all got their phone out, the mum, the dad, the boy, the girl, they've all got a screen, whether one of them's playing a Game Boy or whatever it is, someone's on social media, someone's doing an email. It's just like, yeah, cool, this is current 2019, we need it, but there certainly is another life that exists away from the smartphone. I don't think if you kind of forget about the life, you kind of lose a lot of just social habits, to be honest.
Agreed. And I remember one time when I was at home and I had been scrolling for like, let's say 20 minutes, and I remember just looking up and thinking, what am I doing? Like, I'm at home where I have been blessed with so much in terms of family and stuff, and I'm doing something that I could do when I'm at work or something. Like, I could just check my social media quickly. Like, well, I don't need to do this at home, where I value this time because it's so short. Like, as a man, you are constantly up and about. Like, you're either at work or you're and as a woman as well, you're in meetings or this or that. It's like, so when you got that time, really enjoy it and bathe in it and not be on social media.
Enjoy it away from the device.
Yeah, and so stuff like that is really good. I think there's never been a truer acronym that's existed than FOMO. Yeah. That is literally the fear of missing out. You feel like you have to check so you're not missing out anything. Yeah. And like, I'll challenge people to go home whenever they go home and put your phone on charge or something in one room and just go chill in the other room.
That's what I was going to say. That's the thing that helps for me. So in the evening, there'll be a cut-off point and I will just put my phone on charge and it will be in the other room, and my whole mood changes. And people around me notice that my phone is just not around me. It's just like, even if you're sitting, chilling, doing something, and you know your phone's there, you do naturally go to it and whatever. But when it's in another room, out of your mind, it's freedom. It's beautiful. That's something that I've been implementing. Also in the morning, if you can, because for me, I like to get up early and be productive. Generally, on the phone is a place you can be productive. But amongst that, you can get lost amongst that productivity into nonsense. But again, if you start the day away from your phone, it's a much better, healthier way to start the day, just without being indulged in all that stuff that you come across.
I said this before in the podcast, and I'll say it again. It was some kind of motivational speaker, I can't remember who said that. Imagine being in a situation where you wake up in the morning and 1,000 people come into your bedroom and they're all telling you something. You'd be like, what? Like, get out, I just woke up. But that's exactly what you do as soon as you open your phone in bed in the morning.
Yeah, it is that. Yeah, it is that.
Mad, isn't it?
Yeah, that's why. Do you remember for a little period of time I had two different phones. One of them was more like business with everything on WhatsApp. That's the thing that was kind of like all the messages coming through kind of gives you like a wake up to it. Kind of just it gives you an anxiety. You just got so much to deal with, and you click on it, and it's just I don't think your brain isn't ready for that first thing in the morning.
What happened to the other phone?
I just stopped doing that. It wasn't effective having walking around with two different phones. I just merge it all. It was a lovely idea. It worked for a little bit, but
yeah,
it wasn't practical, bruv.
But the concept is good.
Yeah.
So that's the social media thing.
Yeah.
We've gone on for 32 minutes just about the social media thing. But I did want to talk about that because I know I had some messages of people saying that I was worried because you come on social media and stuff. And I even like every time I like go on social media, I get texts from my little sister asking if I'm okay.
That's good.
Which is interesting because it's
interesting, yeah.
Like, is everything okay? So you're not social media. But anyway,
it's almost like everything's really okay.
Yeah,
I'm off social
everything's
media.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and there is a level of like, don't bite the hand that feeds you because of social media where we're at now.
Absolutely.
But I'm saying that if you don't progress in life, then where are you? I don't mean to just constantly quote people who we shouldn't necessarily look up to, like Denzel Washington, Jay-Z, etc. But Jay-Z said something once, which I remember, and it was quite interesting. Who am I going to quote next? He said that people say to me. Because it might even be a song lyric, I don't know. Because by the way, somebody told me that Jay-Z said this. By the way,
Fine.
So not that I should have to explain myself, but I believe it might be a song lyric. And he said something like, so many people are going to be listening to this who have probably heard the song or something and cringing at me saying it like I'm so out of touch. It was like so many people say that I've changed, like I worked this hard to stay the same.
Yeah.
And that's such a powerful thing. So I'm not saying that social media I hate it but I am evolving, which I really would like to do. And my evolving comes from this. I've just realized that when to and when not to use social media. Example, yes, because of social media and my like growing on social media, we were able to get a listener base over to Freshly Grounded. But alhamdulillah, now the listener base is on Freshly Grounded, I'd like to focus on that more because I see the benefit in that. So it's just evolving now, changing the direction and saying Freshly Grounded could live after we die. But the Faisal Chowdhury brand or the Samuel Palmer brand doesn't live after you die. It dies when you die. But the Freshly Grounded brand can continue and someone else can take our seats and perhaps provide a tiny bit of like knowledge or entertainment or something that keeps people away from worse things. And that's it. Anyway, that's the end of the social media discussion because otherwise I'm going to go on forever. But we do have forever because it's a podcast. Not forever. You got to go King's Cross.
Well said. Any other quotes or?
So Johnny Depp. No, joking.
Go on, that's good.
But
okay,
yeah,
fine.
So
social media done, yeah?
Yeah.
Cool. We're going to talk about Parenthood a little bit?
Yeah.
Fine, okay, cool. So you're 3 weeks in.
Yeah, so do you want to know about the kind of...
I want to know everything.
Fine, okay. So I know people will be interested in kind of the whole like pregnancy, birth and that kind of stuff. So to save and honour my wife's dignity...
Yes, please do.
I'll give a very brief overview. Very brief. So essentially, it was a 2-day labour, and it was very, very difficult. And it wasn't. Right. It wasn't. It was. There was a lot of unexpectedness. And cut a long story short, when Zachariah was born, I'm quite sure. Fine.
You told me the long story earlier. I can't hear it again. I can't hear it again.
Cut a long story short, when Zachariah was then born, he didn't cry. And as a parent, that's very worrying because you always know to listen out for crying. And the baby doctors instantly took him into the theatre, which I could see. And they started working on him. There's about 3 doctors working on him. And they put an oxygen mask on him. So my baby's been born. And the first thing I'm seeing is him with the oxygen mask struggling to breathe. And it was very, very tough. And after about 15-20 minutes, alhamdulillah, he started breathing by himself. But that 15-20 minutes is a very long time. A very long time. And your heart is in your throat the whole time. And you're just calling upon Allah and asking him to make everything okay. Alhamdulillah, Allah answered my du'as. And now I can look back and kind of laugh at this. But at the time, you can imagine what I was going through. After 15-20 minutes, he finally started breathing without the oxygen mask. And then what happened is the machine that's connected to the baby, the one that has lines going up and down, go doot, doot, doot. It's normal, yeah. And then all of a sudden it goes doot with a long straight line, and we all know what that means.
Yeah.
Bro, I turned around. I said, I can't look at this, and I walked over to the other side of the room, and it turned out that the batteries had died on that machine.
You walked over to the tiny, over to the machine or the other away from?
I just walked away from it
because you thought.
I don't know what's happening right now, but
you just wanted to.
This is gonna be too much. Yeah. So I take a step back, and it turned out that the batteries had died on the machine. Alhamdulillah. So Zachariah was fine, and that's kind of the story in a nutshell. But then he had to stay in hospital for about for like I said, just less than a week. Both him and his mom kind of were admitted separately into the hospital, and he was on antibiotics for a bit. He had like a beautiful, cute little. His hands are so small, and he had like a what do they call it? A catheter.
Yeah.
Or isn't a catheter what they put on your
No, that's right.
private parts?
No, not as in like a
yeah,
drip.
yeah, like a drip into his hand.
Yeah.
And he had antibiotics for a few days, and the antibiotics were more so just to kind of like because basically he had some infection markers which were high to indicate that he could have an infection, but they wouldn't have got the results back quick enough, and so it was safer to put him on antibiotics anyway, to be precautionary. So he was on antibiotics until they got the results back. Anyway, they got the results back. Alhamdulillah, he was okay. He had jaundice, but that's 80% of babies have that. So it wasn't anything to worry about. They wasn't like putting him under the blue light or anything, because they said that his jaundice is okay, alhamdulillah. And now his jaundice is gone. His eyes were really yellow, which I was so worried about. So that's the story of him being born.
Yeah. So 5 days later, you went home. Was it? Did you say? A week later?
Yeah, I think about just under a week later, yeah.
You got in and put the family up and everything was smooth then? Was it all smooth?
I wish.
Yeah. That was the next stage.
Yeah, so...
Was it nice, obviously, getting the family back into the warm home and that?
It was lovely having the family back, but every parent who's listening to this will be able to relate in that you don't realize how different your life is, no matter how many people tell you, until you actually have the child. Your life goes from being... Like, I remember I used to sometimes say to my missus, like, should we just go to a restaurant or something? Like, let's do something. I'm bored. Because I'm a fidgety person, you know. I have a very low attention span. I can't just sit around the house. I have to be productive. Even if that means going out for a meal, at least I'm doing something. You know what I mean? And but now that's impossible because your life revolves around this other person. And even if you do want to go out, you have to prepare all these bottles and sterilize and nappy bags, and it's really difficult, bro. It's really, really difficult at first. And I'll be honest in saying it wasn't smooth sailing, because I think people don't talk about how difficult it is, because you're made to feel guilty that Allah just blessed you with this baby and you're complaining about it. Yeah. But it's not complaining, but it's just to say that it's a really big adjustment. Yeah. And you go from that to that, and it does take some time. So the things, because I know I'm being a bit vague, the things that are difficult to adjust to are stuff like, obviously, when you are a first-time parent and you have a screaming child because they want their nappy change or they want milk, you panic when they're screaming so loud because you feel like they're going to blow their head off. And you start panicking, and then you realise now that, alhamdulillah, we're like almost a month in, you realise that panicking makes it worse. Like panicking, you have to be calm. And they're screaming and crying, it's fine, we're changing your nappy, you'll be fine. Milk's being made, it's almost like that kind of stuff. So... that stuff was difficult at first because you panic when the baby panics. You panic at everything you hear. When the baby's going, you think like, why is he breathing like that? Is he choking? Like, when the baby hiccups, which babies do so much, you think, why is he hiccuping so much? And that's what's all difficult, because you worry so much about this person and you don't know what you can do to help them, so you feel helpless.
Of course.
And then there's the issue of, like I said, going out and you can't just leave the house, and that's difficult, and the sleep, and you become really anxious, and you face I faced really, really bad anxiety for like the first week, and I couldn't hide it, man. So I would, and I think the one thing that probably works for me and against me is that I wear my heart on my sleeve, and I'm quite vocal about how I feel all the time. And so in this case, it worked for me. Like, I very much so was vocal about the fact that I was getting a bit of anxiety around that. And
when you said what, to your missus?
Yeah, to my missus.
Yeah.
And
what, you're finding it difficult, and
she was on the same page as me, because she's anything that I go through is nothing compared to what she goes through, and nothing compared to what she's been through. And I would never. So you do feel guilty speaking about this kind of stuff, because you think, well, she's been through so much, so why am I complaining about? I panic a bit about change. Do you know what I mean? But that's the problem with society, is that we don't. We're not able to talk about our feelings maybe all the time, and alhamdulillah, I feel like very blessed that I am able to constantly speak about that. And then like, I think the midwife came over or health visit or something, and she said, look, she said both men and women go through like this like anxiety at the beginning of pregnancy, at the beginning of their child being born, because they find it hard to adjust to that. And when she explained it, it made so much sense. And we both experienced that kind of anxiety, but not to an extreme degree. And it was just an adjustment. That's all it was. It was just a bit of adjusting. And alhamdulillah, now everything is perfectly fine. I'm so grateful to Allah. And, I can't put into words, how grateful I am. And, you speak to me a lot about parenthood and fatherhood. You spoke to me a lot about fatherhood before even I was like, I knew I was going to be a father. Like, just since we've known each other, because it's been such a big part of your life. And only now do I feel like I can relate to so many of the things that you were talking about.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Also with Omar as well, it's interesting when you do speak to someone who's got young children, just the amount of things that you can relate and discuss and talk about. But I'm with you on that. With also, I wouldn't say so much my first, but my second, and we were talking about it. I found that first period really, really tough. And obviously great memories, extremely grateful, beautiful, but very, very, really, really difficult and really, really hard work. And I won't forget that. And I definitely can't say that and as if the dad has to deal with more than the mum, because I do personally think obviously the mum has got it on a whole other level to us. But we do experience a lot of different change, and it's definitely difficult, but it definitely gets easier. And I think with having children from my very small experience, which is 3.5 years, the different phases and the different stages and the different things that we've gone through, and we will forever go through until the children are adults, I imagine. So you're sitting there saying, alhamdulillah, things are good now, but I wonder what's going to happen over the next few months. And that's the same for me as well. Like, there's the amount of changes, and for instance, we've just got, I've had problems with sleeping because obviously the kids, for whatever reason, and that never changes. Like, it hasn't changed. Like, we've got a 1.5 and a 3.5. There's still probably in the evening. There's still a baby crying through the night for some reason, or someone crying. Or there's always like tests and challenges. I think you personally adapt to it, and you get conditioned to it, and you kind of realise that you're probably never going to have amazing sleep again. But you become it conditions you, and it makes you kind of stronger. When you hear a cry in the night, you up straight away, and you're active, and you know how to deal with things.
How crazy is that?
Like, just the whole other I'm definitely not giving myself any props or ratings for being a father, but I find myself doing certain things, like especially with two of them. I think, how do I even learn how to do this? And I'm not doing anything crazy. Whether I'm just preparing their food, changing them, and just doing just doing general parent stuff. But
it's stuff that
for me, I'm like, how have I got to this place?
You never used to be like that before parenthood, right?
Certainly not. Like, now it just obviously when it's in front of you and you're doing it, it's the only way you can really learn it. Because I know a lot of people currently who are about to have babies or just having babies. Sometimes some of them are new parents, and they're all kind of going to different kind of classes to learn what to do when the baby comes. I just don't think you can have an idea, you can learn
can't
this and that,
teach it,
don't even try and go and get obviously learn a basic foundation of having a child, but until it comes, till your children come and all the because every child's different as well. Until it comes, it's in front of you. You can't really prepare for it, man.
Exactly. And I said the same thing to people. I was saying that you can be as prepared as possible. People can teach you the stuff like how to change a nappy, how to burp a baby, how to do all this kind of stuff. But what no one will ever be able to teach you is the lifestyle change and the emotions that you go through.
Certainly.
It's not something that can be at all taught. You have to go through it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but now we're at a different stage. Alhamdulillah. Now we've gone through those growing things, I think, and like you said, we'll continue to grow because we're still only a few weeks in. But it's just all alhamdulillah, you're getting used to it all now and stuff, and you just feel so grateful for the support of the people around you.
Certainly.
You feel grateful that they say that rizq comes with a baby, innit?
Yeah.
And it's so true that I don't know if this is because of our culture or what, but there's a lot of things that you have to first buy when you have a baby, and it's thousands of pounds. It adds up to £1,000 worth of stuff. Prams are not expensive, cots are not expensive. Just a pram and a cot itself can put you to £1,000. You know what I mean? Or if some prams even alone cost some people pay $3,000 for a pram. Do you know what I mean? Point is that when you add up all of the things you need, maybe a milk machine, maybe a sterilizer, maybe the bottles, and it's like so many £1,000s that you need, but it's so amazing because Allah makes things easy for you. Like, I remember like different family members just bought us different things, and they asked us what is it that we can get that would actually be beneficial to you. And so then we would say, well, to be honest, we haven't got our nappy bag yet, so someone would get that. Do you know what I mean?
But Allah says that do not fear when your child is born, that your risk is increased, and it's not necessarily that suddenly you get a pay rise. Right. But suddenly someone has come forward and offered something, or someone's got you something that, but maybe not even conscious of it, but before you know it, all these things that you needed to get are now in front of you. And
that's what it's been like, because that is,
this is your risk. It's not suddenly you're going to wake up and there's loads of £50 notes in your wallet. It's just things are going to be given to you, and things will become easy. And it definitely is. I've witnessed it, and I'm conscious of it for sure.
SubhanAllah, you're so right, because because a person could turn around, I could turn around now and say, really and truly, since my baby's been born, my bank account hasn't really changed, which it hasn't really. Nah. But hold on a second, since my baby's been born, alhamdulillah, there's like all of these things, that thousands of pounds worth of stuff, like a car seat, that somehow Allah has provided us a way of having access to it all now. But we didn't have that before. So you're right. I think it comes down to how you perceive Allah, how grateful you are, and whether you really reflect.
Of course, if you're conscious of these things coming to you, because your mum might come forward and give you something, and you think, "Oh, I love my mum, bless her." But really, that's straight from Allah. Whatever that person has given you is straight from Allah, and that's written for you, and it was written before you even had that child. It was written for you. So when you're conscious of these things, it's beautiful.
Makes you more grateful, right?
Yeah, for sure. And when you are more grateful, you get rewarded even more. Yeah. You get given even more.
Yeah, Allah increases those who are grateful. No. Right? Yeah, it's a journey, man. I'm glad that now on Freshly Grounded we can discuss it, because
it being your boy, or
just like parenthood and stuff. As
parenthood.
Well.
So I thought you were referring to your child as it, Zachariah.
Because I think that I always wanted to create whatever I create. So Freshly Grounded being one of those things, to create something where our audience can grow with us, because inevitably, probably because of our ages, the majority of audience is probably going to be our age as well. So that means that they're probably going to be going through the same shift in life as us around the same time. So as we're getting married, people probably a lot of our audience probably starting to get married or have been married, and then as we have children. So I want to be able to discuss those things to perhaps even be able to be helping.
Relatable,
yeah, relatable, and also for those who haven't been through it or aren't going through it, to maybe have know what to expect a bit more.
Yeah, I think we really sold the whole baby thing today. Saying how it gives you anxiety and it's really scary. And
yeah. No, it's good. I was looking forward to doing this episode, because obviously me and you have known about this episode for about a year.
Yeah.
But because even when I announced it, after that I haven't spoken about it since.
Of course, people are probably waiting for you to say something.
They're probably wondering, like, hold on a second.
Would you ever do a vlog?
Ever again?
Would you have an intention to do a vlog again?
Yeah, I have a video actually ready that I want to edit. Basically.
So you are going to continue doing vlogs?
No, not necessarily vlogs.
After that, you're like, okay.
I'm going to keep my YouTube page. Basically, so what happened is someone, we had Ustad Jamal on his podcast a few weeks back, and he mentioned that he wanted to get an iPad Pro for his lectures, and then a anonymous Freshly Guarded listener got in contact with us, and they bought him an iPad Pro, and we gifted that to him from that anonymous Freshly Guarded listener. And so I filmed that, so I want to upload that. So I'm going to create like that kind of thing. I'm going to keep it open for that. Maybe when we announce events and just like general stuff, but whether I'm going to like lift a camera in my hand and I vlog, maybe. I'll have to see. Definitely, like I enjoy times like when me and you travel together. Yeah, that's definitely worth it.
Okay, so something like that you would do.
Yeah,
fine.
I don't want to lose my personality.
No, of course.
But
I'm not saying that.
I am trying to. I have been on this journey since Freshly Guarded started of like trying to mature.
Yeah.
And keep my personality, because I'm aware that my personality is.
You have matured a lot, haven't you? Well, so that's been intention, just to mature.
I think it's natural growth, isn't it?
Yeah, of course.
But I do want to. I am always also conscious of not losing my personality. If you see my early YouTube videos, it's all like
yeah.
And that is naturally. True. I am generally when I'm at home, I'm a proper monkey. Like I just like bouncing off the walls and like.
True, I forget that kind of facial energy. I haven't seen that for a minute.
That's me all day, every day at home.
Yeah.
So I don't want to lose that.
Yeah.
But I don't know how to.
Have you rebranded yourself as more of a mature?
No, because that would be intentional. I just genuinely.
But Maybe not intentionally, but that's kind of maybe what's happened.
Maybe.
I like it.
Do I like it?
I like it.
Oh. You didn't like me cracking joke?
No.
Oh.
No, I did. Of course I did. But you've definitely matured. You've definitely got... Well, I'm glad because there's been quite a few years that we've been side by side now. So if you wouldn't have been maturing, I probably would have had a word with you anyway. So grow up a little bit. That's good. Well done.
I think
That's nice.
Yeah, you like it?
Cool, isn't it?
Well, it's a maturity. It's just so I can... Literally, that's all it's for.
That's actually really good.
Yeah.
Can I have one, please? Someone donate me one.
Someone will donate you a £3.99 thing.
That's actually really good.
I think Freshly Grounded might cover that.
Yeah, that's good. I like that a lot. Yeah, so
yeah. I think that I bring out the silly goose in you.
Yeah, you do, man. And when I'm relaxed around you, I can be really silly. Yeah.
Because you generally...
Where did we go one time when I was really relaxed?
Dubai.
Was it Dubai? Yeah.
Dubai was funny. I had such a good time in Dubai.
Really relaxed.
Do you know what it is, bro? You have that personality anyway, but in your job and your field, you have to be Sam Palmer, the leader, because you are running an organisation that requires you to make very serious decisions, very high level decisions that impact loads of people's jobs. You can't be in work every day being a silly goose.
No, definitely not.
But it's nice to see outside of you on Freshly Grounded.
Yeah, for real. It's there. It's definitely there. It doesn't come out as much these days, but I do like being silly.
You have to, man.
Yeah, for real.
Guys are always gonna be guys.
Yeah.
And boys will be boys, and that's why I say that boys are the toys, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like a guy will always want to get cars and technology and stuff because guys are like that, and so I don't think anyone should ever lose their personality. But you have to, as you're growing, figure out a way where that can become 10% of your personality rather than 50%. Because if you're 50% joking, 50% serious, that's quite a lot of jokey, and you have to in life take life quite seriously and be productive and get on with stuff. But then you have to be able to crack joke. Even if you look at what the scholars say, they say that joking in your life should be like salt on food, just a bit of it. If there's too much of it, it makes your food too salty.
Yeah.
Which I never really understood until now, I'd say.
Too salty if you have too much of it. Yeah.
But a little sprinkle of laughter
you need
jokes
it. Uplifting.
Gets you through,
yeah, for real. Yeah, alhamdulillah.
Yeah, it's hard to find that balance, isn't it? Because you also, if you're always joking and stuff, then you have to think about how you're perceived by people.
Yeah.
And it's only when people, because you see how comfortable people feel to make certain jokes around you.
Yeah.
And when someone feels a bit too comfortable to like almost kind of bully you in a jokey way, then you think, oh, I've obviously made myself come across like that's okay.
That's okay.
That I'm so jokey that you can even like take the mick out of me kind of thing. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
It's so funny because I remember I didn't want to forget the things that we were going to discuss on today's podcast, and so what
have we not discussed?
I wrote notes.
Yeah.
And look at the notes that I wrote. Just 2 notes. Read them out loud.
Being off social media and being a dad.
That's it.
Just do 2 ticks.
Yeah, so we've ticked them both off.
I'm glad you made those notes in case you forgot, because we'd be left with nothing to talk about.
After all this time. You had a break recently with the kids. Seeing as we're talking about kids in this episode, we might as well carry on.
I did have a break.
You had a break. How was that? Because you do that. Like, what did you do? Once a year? Or
I tried to. I actually had a holiday booked to go to Greece, and unfortunately it was cancelled because the flights that I had booked were through Thomas Cook. They went down. My flights were booked through. Although I booked it through another agency, they booked my flights through there. So my holiday was taken from me, which was a shame because it was actually my first family holiday for 2.5 years. So I was really much looking forward to it. It got cancelled. It flopped. I had a lot of stuff going on work-wise, so I was kind of like, alhamdulillah, whatever. It doesn't matter anyway. It's kind of good that I was around that week anyway. I had things going on. And then I just thought I'm going to quickly just book something local. Went to Centre Parks. I've been going for the last 3 years since I had my first, and I love it. And I really recommend it, to be honest. And this was probably my favourite time I've had there. And it's really nice.
Did you get your money back from the Thomas Cook thing?
Yeah, I got my money back, yeah. But to be honest, like, it wasn't really about the money. It was a very particular thing that I'd booked. I was after something very particular, and took me a long time to find what I'd booked. And when it got cancelled, it was just going to be too difficult to find what I was looking for and get it all sorted out. So maybe like sometime next year I'll go away. But I feel rested. I feel very rested. Although I was local, I was very rested last week. It was nice.
What did you do in Centre Parks? Because you look like you just enjoyed yourself in the hot tub.
I was in the hot tub a lot, man.
So did you get that lodge that has all that?
Yeah, I had a tub. Yeah, it was really good. Really glad I did, to be honest.
Is that like the top one you can get?
No, there's one above that, which is a tree house, which I think is just absurd, to be honest. But you're actually in the trees.
Do you get a pool table and stuff in there?
Yeah.
You had a pool table and stuff though, innit?
Yeah, but that was not in a tree house.
So the only difference is that you're with the birds.
Only difference is you're in a tree house, and I was like on the ground.
I'd prefer the ground, I think.
Yeah. Do you know what? I think it's about the cheapest price for a tree house is like $2,500 for 4 nights. So like, if you're going to spend that, you might as well go to the Caribbean, Mexico, go and do Umrah. Sorry, most importantly, go and do Umrah Hajj. Yeah. I'm talking about holidays in Pacific, but you can get that money can stretch very, very far.
Hold on a second though. So you booked this thing, but is there? Do you take? Because from what I know, because I've never been to Centre Parks. Yeah. There's like loads of activities involved.
Loads of things.
Do you take part in the activities, or for you is it more so the enjoying being in a hot tub and?
Oh no, I would normally, but basically, yeah, there are activities that we do, but obviously it's more for like children a little bit older than my kids. So the things that they can get involved in, they did, but not that you're limited for things to do, but it was more just I wanted to be away from home in a nice environment. I ended up getting somewhere bigger to stay, just so I could actually enjoy where I was staying more so, because previously I stayed somewhere in one of the lodges, which is nice, but it's kind of small, so after a while you do naturally want to get out, and because there's not millions of things to do, it's kind of not that nice. So then basically we got a nicer place to stay, so we could spend a bit more time inside.
Did your kids get bored?
No, not at all. We went out loads. They went out every day. But
when you say go out, do you leave Centre Parks?
No, all in Centre Parks.
And I remember you saying there's like a Starbucks there and stuff.
There's Starbucks. There's loads of stuff to do. There's swimming pools. There's activities. There's bike rides. There's nature walks. There's loads of stuff.
What do you do there's obviously a kitchen in your lodge, and do you go shopping?
I had a house. We took our shopping there. So
Like you popped to Sainsbury's.
We literally went to Marks for a treat on the way there. So went to Marks.
Of course you did.
It was just for a treat. It wasn't a regular thing. Went to Marks and rolled up there. It was nice.
Such a Sam Palmer thing.
Not really. It was like I said, it was a one-off because it was.
Stop for a Waitrose on the way.
No, not made of money.
Did you go Marks? So you went Marks Spencer did your weekly food shop there?
No, just a one-off. Went because we were going away. I think did a little treat. Yeah, no, look, I had a really nice week off. I was in the hot tub a lot. I was out cycling lots, out with the boys a lot. My boys were driving around in small Land Rovers.
So they have all that there you can hire.
They've got loads of stuff to do. But like I said, it's wicked for kids, but maybe a little bit older than mine. But there's loads of stuff to do.
So that's something my nephew Issa would like. He's like 5.
Perfectly, yeah. Perfect. It would be perfect.
He's in like year 1, I think.
It would be perfect for him.
Yeah. That sounds interesting.
But I liked it. It was nice. Yeah, that's what I did last week, yeah.
You know what I thought that would be a really nice holiday would be, because you know if you go on Airbnb you can rent like in Dubai mansions like on the beach, like you're talking like humongous mansions that like 8 bedrooms, they've got a games room, they've got like massive, they're so nice, but they're obviously really, really expensive. But I was thinking if you go with family, like if you and all your siblings were to go with your spouses and your kids, it works out like £100 per head.
Really?
Well, if there's
per night.
Well, with me, I've got like quite a few siblings, and they've all got spouses, right? So then the house is so big that you got so much privacy, and then
that's good.
It's a massive mansion. You can have like dinners together and stuff like that, and then there's like a beach in the gardens. So I think that'd be quite an affordable luxury to do, wouldn't it?
It's true. If you've got enough people chipping in, that'd be very good. Very good.
So that would be a good idea. That I would.
There's a lot you can do that, and obviously I don't think you would probably want to do that. You can do that in England. You can get like beautiful castles and luxury homes, and with indoor swimming pools and stuff.
I had a plan to do that for Freshly Grounded once.
What, a luxury home somewhere?
Yeah.
Just still do it. What do you mean you had a plan? That's a great plan.
Yeah, no, but it needs to be. There's a lot to implement. But almost like a retreat, like a Freshly Grounded retreat.
That'd be nice.
In like a nice countryside mansion.
Yeah. I found a website the other day. I was going through it. It's not cheap though. It's not really not cheap. Yeah. It's a proper chunk of change. But you can stay in some beautiful places.
You always just have to go to like Asda as opposed to Marks.
Asda's good, man.
En route.
Morrison's my usual regular. Sainsbury's.
Yeah. So I'm still intrigued about Centre Park. Sorry. Yeah. So
yeah,
you have been for the last 3 years.
This is my 3rd time since being an adult. I used to go as a kid.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I was basically taken as a kid, and it was my fondest memories of being a kid was going to Centre Parks.
I see.
Outdoor rapids. Have you looked at it? Have you been on it before?
Yes,
it's nice. It's like a nice little getaway, local.
I saw it. I saw it that time that you went last year.
Of course.
And I googled it and stuff. And then when you went this year again, I googled it. Yeah. I was looking at the different options they have for housing.
Somewhere do you think you'd maybe consider?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, good.
It's not something I've ever done.
Nah. I did it as a kid, and then we stopped going when I must have been at primary school still.
Gora
flex. It's very Gora flex. Yeah. I was talking to some of my Asian friends when I was there, and they were saying, is it just pure Gora? And I was like, it pretty much is just Gora, yeah. It is Gora. But that would be pretentious, but there's no like, in a very, very humble, like normal, it's a very nice setting. There's no like...
I know what you mean, but it's just
does that make sense?
You just don't see Asians do that kind of stuff.
Not really. And I was saying to my Asian friend, you'd love it here. He said, no, I wouldn't. I said, probably not actually. But
I'm going to try it.
You would enjoy it.
Yeah.
I've got a lot of people. I know people who go who haven't got kids.
It looks really. Is there stuff for adults to do?
They listen to the podcast, so.
Is there stuff for adults to do there though?
I'm sure you can find things.
Like go to Starbucks.
If you take things with you.
You think people see the turn up like people they're turning up and then the staff are like, yeah, where are your kids?
Yeah, you can go as an adult if you want. You can. I think some of the
you could just book a hotel.
Yeah, you could, somewhere. But I think some of the centre parks are a lot bigger than the one I went to. So there's a lot of them have got massive bike rides and like lakes and stuff that you can explore. So I think some of them have got like a bigger.
But your one's quite close, wasn't it?
It was very close, mate. Half an hour drive from my house.
Yeah, I checked. I just making it to my house as well.
Half an hour from my house.
Sounds a bit creepy that I checked how far it's from my house.
Did you check from your house?
Yeah.
How far is it from yours?
About the same. It's like kind of near Watford, right? I think.
Nah,
I can't remember now.
Bedford.
That's
Bedford.
it. Yeah, 45 minutes.
Yeah, sweet.
Yeah,
15 more minutes from
you.
Yeah. Oh, you actually
I
checked
genuinely, but because you told me you were there, so I was like, oh, this looks like an interesting thing.
Were you going to come?
I remember you would turn up. Hey, Sam, I thought we might need to do shopping. No, because you've been, that's like the second or third time in a row you've been now.
So you're like, right, he must...
Oh, yeah, well, like, let me see what it's about.
Yeah.
I remember you telling me about it last year, and you always seem to go in the winter.
Yeah, and my other friend who goes there quite often with his family goes, why are you there in the winter? You should go in the summer. And I was like, yeah, because obviously all the garden area with barbecues and like it's a summery place.
It sounds to me like a wintry place.
I prefer winter because I like getting cozy, cozy. But he's
Hot
basically
tub.
saying, "No, mate, that place is good in the summer because in all the lodges you get like a nice garden with a barbecue and outdoor area and stuff. So it's obviously set up for a nice little summer evening."
Yeah, if I were to go, I'd do winter like you. I love winter, man. Winter's my favorite season.
Yeah, same. Yeah. Cozy.
It's cozy.
You'll probably end up getting a treehouse, won't you?
Probably not. I do like the look of that one that you got though.
Yeah, you'd like it.
Yeah,
but wait for the kid to be a little bit older.
Yeah, definitely.
It was too big. It was like you share it, family share it.
I have a question for you. If
Please.
you're going away with a newborn, which I'm sure you've done,
yeah,
and you like book a hotel, where does the baby sleep?
The baby sleeps in the cot, generally next to your bed, or just next, or just near your bed.
No, but in a hotel though.
That's like I just said.
Will you take a cot?
The first time I went away, I stupidly took my travel cot, and I got there, and it was real pain in the arm to take it all through the airport and stuff. And I got there, they had quite a good one already.
In the hospital? Sorry,
in
the hotel.
No, I didn't go to the hospital. In the hotel. I'm talking about holidays.
Oh, so do hotels have this?
Most hotels will have a cot.
Oh,
in fact, all hotels will have a cot. But I took the travel cot because we thought it'd be nice, home from home. We'll like it. But they had a cot there, and we didn't take the travel cot after that because it wasn't even the travel cot. It was actually the proper cot that. That's why it was so difficult. It wasn't a travel cot at all. I took the big thing. But yeah, I mean, I've been away a few times when we had the newborn, and first time was to Egypt, and it wasn't that good because it was really hot. He was only 3 months old. We couldn't take him outside. The room was too hot. He was just crying the whole time, and we thought, no, this isn't going to work. It didn't really work out too well.
Yeah, I never knew that hotels would have cots.
Of course.
So you'd obviously request it.
They had 2 cots in the one I went to. How good is that?
But you'd have to request it because I've never been in a hotel.
You don't have to request it.
Well, I've never been in a hotel room that has a cot. I'm talking about a general hotel.
Yeah, no, we're not going to have a...
You book it, right, let's say...
The hotel will have it. There's so much more to a hotel than just your room, if you think about it. Downstairs, they've probably got a cupboard that has things like cots for guests that are staying with babies.
Fine.
But if for instance, you're going to go somewhere, it would definitely be worthwhile checking with the hotel there's a cot, but I guarantee, well, not guarantee it, but I'm likely they'll have a cot there.
So what's a travel cot? I mean, I know what it sounds like.
Travel cots aren't that expensive either.
What does it look like? How could you ever travel with a cot?
You just fold it up, don't you? Put it into a bag.
Oh,
Do you know what I
okay. That's interesting. It's like one of those tent things.
But most hotels will have it. But you got to make sure if it's not in a snobby way, but ideally it's a okay hotel. Otherwise, if you're going to like a grotty hotel with a newborn and they give you a cot that's been there for 40 years,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
But obviously, you're taking your own sheets and stuff, so you can obviously create the bed that clean. But
I mean, ideally, you would just not travel with a baby if you don't need to.
yeah, but generally, when you have children, from what I've learned, you've got to take them everywhere you go.
Yeah,
Well,
you can't avoid going places, I guess.
Although we went away 3 times in the first 6 months of having Zayden, and
How did you do that, man?
because I was like, I'm going to still enjoy my life, but it wasn't. I don't really recommend it too much, man. Made a point of going away thinking, yeah, I can still be free, but it changes it from a holiday to looking after a baby in a hot country.
I imagine that the baby is unsettled because it's not in its own environment, right?
And you're now like sharing a room with the baby, which obviously you're doing that anyway at a newborn, but you can't leave that room, so you're just like, shh, happy holidays. And the baby wakes up and yeah. But that was my experience. Do you know what? I'm speaking from my experience. Obviously, someone else might have a different experience, but the times we went away, I was thinking, do you know what? These weren't holidays. These were quite testing times.
Yeah, I don't think I would take baby away unless I needed to until like he was quite a bit older. I found the benefit of white noise.
Okay, what for the baby? Yeah, very good.
Put me to sleep.
Put you to sleep.
Yeah,
for the baby.
Yeah, no, for the baby.
Perfect.
Yeah,
We had that.
It was really good.
Yeah, it's really good. Yeah.
Because sometimes like he's fed, nappy changed everything, but he's just a bit unsettled. And you put a bit of white noise.
That white noise on. What have you got? Have you got like a little thing that plays it?
YouTube.
Oh, on YouTube.
Yeah.
We've got a giraffe that went in his bed. He's broke it now, to be fair, but a giraffe that went in his bed that played different.
Really?
One of them was white noises. Yeah.
Because at this stage they're saying, I know this is just best practice stuff, but they're saying not to put anything in the cot with him at this point.
Just put it next to the cot, then
yeah.
it's just a giraffe. It's not gonna. Don't have to put it in there.
Just a massive giraffe.
Don't have to rest on his head as he's sleeping. Just put it next to him on the bed if you want.
That's nice that you can buy a giraffe.
It's obviously a small little toy one. So it was funny. My youngest one is obsessed with dinosaurs, and that's all he collects is like dinosaurs, and they all make noises and stuff. And he just runs around the house making dinosaur noises.
Is Aiden into Power Rangers?
No.
I remember when I was Zayden's age, I was really.
Things have changed a lot since your age. Are they still around?
Yeah, my nephew's into him.
Oh really?
Yeah,
It's still.
They just change the actors, don't they?
I know. It's still like quite a relevant thing.
Yeah, it's really.
I didn't realise that. I thought it was old school now. Nah, he's not into Power Rangers yet. Paw Patrol he likes.
Yeah.
You've got all this to come.
I know. I can imagine. Like, you must lose so much patience with these things. How you just want to have an adult conversation with someone.
Yeah. I do, and then I come and speak to you, and I don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't get it with you either.
That's why you go to work and so serious. Can't people's hair hoping that someone has a good enough conversation. I had a good experience in Men's Spy the other day.
Really? Why was it so good?
Because it was empty.
Why was it empty?
It was the end of the day.
Okay, fine.
Yeah. I was a very final client.
Nice.
And it was very nice.
I'm glad you had such a nice experience.
Oh, it was so relaxing. I was in there for an hour.
Do you feel like you enjoyed it more because there wasn't anyone in there and you could just enjoy it?
I enjoyed it because it was dark.
So
Maghrib had hit.
The salon was dark. How are you getting a haircut in the dark?
No, the outside was dark, bro. It was dark outside, but it wasn't late because it was just Maghrib had just hit. And it was cold outside, so it was nice and warm in the salon. Because there's a really
was
good
the aircon
system. Yeah, it's a really good system that's implemented. It was nice and warm in the salon, and it was cold outside, which is nice. You sat on the chair. Obviously, I sound very pretentious here.
What chair did you sit on?
Owen's one, the one that Gianni normally cuts on. And I was just sat back, and bro, I had 3 hours sleep that night, and so I told Owen, I said, Owen, listen, this is probably going to be one of those trims that I'm going to fall asleep on the chair. He was like, bro, do not stress. I said, I also haven't been to the I haven't had a haircut for maybe 5 weeks, where I normally go every other week, right? So I said, it's going to need a bit of work. My head outgrown on all angles, needed a bit of scissors cut on top, needed a bit. And he said, Faisal, you're my final client today. Relax. I've got all the time in the world. And it's nice when you hear that. Even because
those are his words as well.
Yeah, me being his final client would probably, if anything, you would think that he'd be like, my final client, just get out of the way and I can go home early.
He took time.
But he took his time.
An hour, yeah?
Bro, I got there 3:30 and I left at 4:30.
Wow.
And
nice.
So I sat on the chair. I told him what I wanted. and I didn't actually tell him what I wanted. I just told him like something that I was trying to achieve. I told him something how I wanted to achieve with the shape of my head. Basically, I didn't want my head to look too long, and I thought that sometimes it can. And then I said, look, I trust you. Do whatever you think.
Yeah.
That's also because you're the professional here. And so he's like, fine, and he told me what he's going to do, and then that was it. I sat back and we were having a chat about those things. He was asking me about baby, and he was telling me about his plans. He's really excited because he's taking some time off in December to go back home to his family in Ireland, and he really likes this time of year because he gets to see all his family and stuff. And so he's telling me all about what he's going to do in December in Ireland, and then we were just having a little bit of a chinwag. Then I fell asleep for a bit on the chair while he was still cutting my hair. Didn't bother him at all. And then I woke up. He was still cutting my hair. And it was lovely.
Nice.
Got off the chair.
Yeah.
And I said to him, do you mind if I pray? He goes, you head downstairs and do your salah, and I'll be here when you come back up. Came upstairs.
Did you see the wall downstairs? It's annoying that you didn't.
Oh, the graffiti wall. Is it now painted over?
No.
No, I didn't notice it.
Downstairs is a brand new wall put in.
All I noticed that it was really clean.
Downstairs is a whole new wall.
What?
That's what I'm saying.
Where?
The whole wall is brand new.
But it's not a new wall.
It's a brand new wall.
No, but not.
See this brand new wall?
Yeah.
It's the equivalent. It's a brand new wall.
That wasn't there before.
No.
What? No, I didn't see
You
that.
don't notice the brand new wood? I've been putting it on my stories. Oh no, you haven't on Instagram, have you? I'm having downstairs done, and there's been a whole new wall put up. But now my builder's disappeared, so I've just got a new wall, and that's it.
Downstairs looked exactly the same to me.
No, it didn't.
No, it
You've
looked.
got a new wall.
You can't tell me what something looked like to me.
Because you don't pay any attention.
Correct. It was clean.
Of course it's clean, but it's yeah. So we're redoing the salon. The whole thing is getting renovated.
That's
well,
fine.
it was, but builder's gone missing.
I was there recently. I didn't notice that.
Well, there's a new wall downstairs.
Okay. I noticed the solid AC system.
Yeah. Yeah, we're redoing the salon. That's nice. Still making that noises. Just still disrupting the recording.
I just realised it got really hot quickly. Okay.
Yeah. So we're redoing. We're renovating the salon.
Are you going to work on the kitchen area? Because obviously
Yes.
you don't see only your staff see
We're
that.
going to work on
so
it
doesn't
everywhere,
matter.
but including the back area. Yeah. But I'm really excited about downstairs because from what you've just been saying about how nice you felt, it was quiet, there was no one there, and you got to relax and have a nice haircut. Downstairs, as originally we've got 3 chairs. I've pulled 1 chair out. There's going to be just 2 chairs. It's going to be more like a VIP kind of quiet area, and it's all getting redone. So it'll be like a.
That's nice.
Yeah. So it's going to all get redone.
So where would I get my haircut?
Wherever you want, upstairs, I imagine.
Oh, not in the VIP area.
Depends who you're going to see, Midge or Owen.
When I text Mahi now, I say, hey man, is Midge or Owen available on this day? Because it allows me to also get my haircut on a day that is.
You don't think you'll go to King's Cross like your brother?
Nah.
It's not convenient, is it, really?
It's not that convenient, bro, because it's still central, congestion charge area.
Yeah.
Sorry, but I'm really de-setting. It's great for those who commute into London anyway.
The amount of freshly grounded people have gone to King's Cross is incredible.
Really?
Yeah.
How is it going,
Really
King's Cross? Because last time you came to the podcast, you said it's never easy starting a new store.
It's never easy, and nothing's changed. It's never easy. It's good, though. It's good. Everything's going good. A lot of hard work ahead. But, yeah, it's good. But it's lots of challenges everywhere currently.
Do you, when you open new stores and stuff, do you ever get advice from people that you just get annoyed at, like,
all the
I
time.
don't need to hear that?
But I like to remain coachable, and I like to try and listen to everyone, because even if it's not someone's like first off experience or whatever, but everyone's got an opinion. I think it's sometimes healthy to listen to people's opinions, but I think you can kind of tell like someone's a beneficial kind of comment to just
someone feeling like they should have an opinion.
Yeah. But now King's Cross is going well. I was going to actually consider offering a 25% discount to freshly grounded listeners, like I did at 59 that time.
Well, now you said it, you should.
Oh yeah, I'll do it until the 15th of December.
Okay.
If you quote FG at Menspire King's Cross, you get 25% off.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I think it's good.
That is
the
very
15th
good.
of December 2019.
Sick. We'll announce that in the intro.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Again.
That'd be nice. I'm just really, grateful for all the support that actually freshly grounded viewers and listeners show me and my business all the time, bro.
Likewise, bro. Amazing.
I'm just very grateful. So if you ever support either of us, we're really, really grateful, and I love it. And I see it all the time. I see people and say, "I'll listen to your podcast from the salon in all the shops." Very
How humbling
grateful.
is that?
Amazing. I was actually in the hospital the other day, and someone walked past me, and
Really?
he goes, "I love your just listen to your podcast." I said, "Alhamdulillah."
I like when you hear people saying, "Oh, it's so crazy! I just saw you because I was literally just listening to it."
Yeah.
It's very, very humbling, and it
humbling.
feels nice. I've said so many times. It feels so nice because it's not someone saying "I love you" and your work.
It's your podcast.
It's the message going out the guests.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's not like you're amazing. It's like that thing you're involved with is really
Yeah.
cool. Yeah. So it's really, really nice. Yeah. Alhamdulillah.
Like I imagine in some ways it must be so nice, so much nicer for you to hear someone say, "Oh, I had a really great experience at Menspire with Owen," even though that's not got anything to do with you because you didn't cut their hair, you weren't even there. But it's so nice, must be amazing to hear.
Winning.
Because you've been able to help in that right, in long
beautiful.
term.
That's the reflection of me, though, isn't it? If you're going into my shop, and that's the reflection of me. So if someone's done something to please you, I'm very happy, very, very happy. Very happy.
My brother-in-law said to me the other day, because I left from their house, and I said, "I'm going to get my hair cut," and he said, "Oh, does Sam cut your hair?" And I said, "No, he doesn't actually cut my hair." And he said, "Why?" And I said, "He hasn't actually. I think maybe he's cut my hair once, ever." And he said, "Why?" And I said, "Well, because Sam is put better with longer hair." But we both know that's not the actual reason, don't we?
If you want me to cut your hair,
No, you've made it abundantly clear, Samuel.
I'm just look. Why do you need me when you've got people like Midge and Owen around?
Yeah,
who
you're
can
right.
give you hour appointments? Do you think I'm going to give you an hour appointment on a Sunday?
Yeah.
I'm not going to give you 5 minutes on a Sunday. So you just be grateful for what you've got. You've got some amazing barbers, alhamdulillah.
I said when we go on holiday, he shapes my beard.
Definitely would do that. You know I'll do that.
Yeah.
First time I met you, I gave you a beard consultation.
Consultation?
Yeah.
Did you? Oh, yeah, you did.
Sorry,
you did.
you just
See, I've never heard you call it that outside of Menspire.
consultation? It was. I literally in Gambia in that first time we met. I was
blazing
literally
heat.
talking to you about your beard.
Next time, really nice swimming pool.
Really nice swimming pool.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you.
Yeah, you gave me a big consultation on that garden chair. I remember.
Maybe. Yeah. That was a good trip.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I remember I shaped you up there, and that was the first time I met you.
Hmm.
And I trimmed your beard underneath. It was a bit ratty underneath.
I wouldn't call it ratty per se.
It's just as your few hairs were coming out of your chin at that point. Alhamdulillah, now look at it, so strong.
I wouldn't call it ratty. So you're going to King's Cross now. What's your plans? What are your plans there?
I'm meeting Ollie there.
Okay.
And we've got some training to do. And we've just got some general promotions. We're going to go to a couple of local offices. Just do a few bits. Going to spend about 3 hours there.
So those staff members who are scattered all around, like Ireland, King's Cross, etc.
Yeah.
Do they have like salon days where they all come down to the academy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you, like every now and again they like have
internal education.
Okay.
Yeah. Which we now host at the new academy.
That must be fun days.
Yeah, it's great. It's good. Obviously, with the Irish lads, now we've got our academy set up in Dublin, so all education will be looked after in there. But
and it saves you hotel costs,
of course. But we've also whenever there's a course on at the academy, if you work at Menspire, you're obviously welcome to go and participate in the course, observe the course
nice.
basically. So we've always got open education for our employees.
I still haven't viewed the academy new one.
You really like it. You'd get really gassed over it, to be honest.
Yeah.
You would enjoy it.
I just need to come down sometime.
You're too busy these days with your kid and that. When you get some free time, come see your old buddy Sam.
I don't know if I know what free time is anymore, Sam. My old friend Sam. We've been doing this for a minute now, isn't it, Sam? I was thinking about this. I was thinking 2016 is when we met, but 2017...
Beginning of 2017, wasn't it?
No. Yeah. It was February 2017. Yeah, February 2017.
Yeah.
So this February will be 3 years that we'll be doing for this.
An awful long time.
It is,
awfully long time, sorry.
Yeah.
It's been a very pleasant time with you.
It's
an
great
awfully long time. It's an expression.
Okay.
I'm not saying I have an awful time. It's an awfully long time.
Yeah. Maybe just take awfully out. It's a decent amount of time. Decent time that we've been... That's
a massive chunk of my life.
Almost 10% of your life.
Wow.
It's been we've hit the old road a few times.
Have you got a favourite episode? I've never asked you that question, and I'm sure you won't appreciate. You probably haven't got one that you can say, but have you got like one out of all of them that you could say like is your favourite? And I probably threw you off there with that. It's quite a good question, really. Have you got one favourite that stands out?
We are 132 episodes in, so
I
it'd be hard
that,
to.
It's still. I'm sure there's some that.
One of my favorite episode. My favorite episode will definitely be an episode that you and I did together. I think my favorite because we get to crack jokes.
Fine, okay, but there isn't one that stands out.
Definitely not the one that we had a fight in Dubai over Uber versus taxi driver.
and opticians and
opticians. Yeah, definitely not that one where I thought you were going to walk out on Freshly Grounded.
I think that's the 4th recording you made me do that trip.
I would say, just general ones where we've had a laugh. I think. Fine. Yeah, definitely none of the travel ones. Because the travel ones are not easy, bro.
No, they're not easy.
Nah, you're like also traveling, and then you got all the things, you got to get an episode in, and obviously that's why you're traveling. Although we should travel soon. Oh, we're thinking about maybe traveling soon, right?
Yeah, inshallah, yeah.
Inshallah. So we actually did an episode last week with HMC, the director of HMC.
How was it? Enjoy it?
Yeah, man, it was like quite informative. That's quite a big look, man.
Yeah, it is.
I always enjoy the ones with Tim Humble, by the way.
Yes.
But yeah, look, I'm looking for him now, and all these ones are my favorite. Like the ones we had an episode of me and you were talking about German kitchens and moving home. Yeah. Like these ones are always my Sam's running routine, how to afford luxuries, last meals before you die. Remember that?
Yeah, I do remember that.
I think that would have been one of my favorite ones. Episode 111. I think we had a proper laugh on that episode. Indigestion, parenting. See, we always talk about fun stuff like indigestion when we as us too. Guys and girls, thank you so much for listening to episode 132 of Freshly Grounded with myself, Faisal Chowdhury, and Big Man Sam. We will be back, inshallah, very soon. We do have a few episodes that are pre-recorded that will be out over the next couple of weeks as well. And that's going to be. We got one with Mufti Muhammad Munir and another one with a guy called Mr. Halal Money. Yeah, and the other thing I was gonna say, Sam, was funny, bro. Another thing I was gonna say is from when I'm back, which I believe will be like from maybe the 1st of December.
Yes,
we're gonna do a trial for between 4 to 8 weeks on Freshly Grounded, where we're gonna try out the method of no longer releasing episodes on Fridays, but actually releasing episodes as and when we do them. So it'll be a case of like maybe, so it'll still be a minimum of 1 episode a week. But if, for example, we shoot another episode, we'll just put it out rather than waiting for like for example, right now we're sitting on 2 episodes, right? Or if you include this one, 3 episodes. So that's 3 weeks worth of episodes. But basically doing like, if as we record them, putting them out. So there's loads of podcasts that do that. I just want to kind of trial that method and see how beneficial it is and how the listeners enjoy that or not. So guys, we will talk about that in the intro of closer to December. But that's probably we're going to trial that out, like I said, from then. Other than that, there's not really many updates. And thank you very much for joining us. And I've been Faisal Chowdhury. This has been S Empire, Samuel Palmer, SMP, Big Man Sam, 6'6". We're out of here, baby.
Thank you.